Hey everybody, how's it going? I've been receiving this question nonstop from my newer subscribers and my newer followers on Instagram and TikTok. They're asking me what are my most popular fragrances that I use, which ones are my favorites, and I know that if you've been subscribed to my channel, then you know the answer to this, and you can just scroll past this video if you want, because this one is specifically for my newer subscribers, all right? And I'll put a discount link for global shipping, by the way, for all of the fragrances I'm mentioning so that you yourself can get your hands on these bottles if you want them. All right, so we're gonna start with Molecule 01 by Eccentric Molecules. Now, this fragrance is something that smells amazing on its own on my skin. It kind of smells a bit like clean, but it doesn't smell like a fragrance. Somebody actually thought I was wearing clean laundry when I wore this scent, but I will tell you it's a gamble. And it's a gamble because it's an ISO E Super fragrance. So all this really does is enhance your skin chemistry. So the way you naturally smell, it will elevate that, which is why this has a lot of mixed reviews. You have a lot of people that hate this scent because they're like, I wore that and it smells like shit. And remember what I said, this amplifies what you already smell like. So if you don't smell good with this fragrance, then stay away from it. Stay away from it, okay? Now, this scent is something that also enhances other fragrances. So if you're somebody that wants your weaker performing scents to last longer, this helps with that. And the example I always use is Pacific Rock Moss by, it's Goldfield and Banks. Yeah, Goldfield and Banks. That fragrance was so poor on me. It lasted maybe 2 hours and I loved the smell of it. And I tried that thing a few times and I never got past like 2.5 hours of like wear time, right? So one day I tried that fragrance with the Vaseline hack. I was like, okay, let me apply some Vaseline on my wrist or my inner elbow or like, in some of my go-to like spraying spots. And then I applied the fragrance over that. Still the same thing. For me, the Vaseline hack doesn't work at all. So the next day what I did is I applied the Pacific Rock Moss fragrance and then I put Molecule 01 over it and I still smelled it 7 hours later. Now, I'm not saying that it turned it into a beast mode fragrance, but it definitely made that fragrance shine to its truest potential. So I love that this scent is something you can wear by itself, but it also has a dual purpose. Now, another interesting thing about Molecule 01 is that it's a fragrance that you start to smell more the second you become active. Because if you're just lounging around, this scent is not really going to be that noticeable or detectable to your nose. Other people might be able to smell it, but when I actually smell this fragrance, it's when I'm under the sun, like if I'm working out or if I'm just like moving around a lot. That's when I can really smell this just pushing off. So it's a very smart fragrance. You can wear it to the office because, like, I'm sure some people might notice it, but it's not like an obnoxious type of fragrance that's gonna piss people off in the office. They'll just think that's what you naturally smell like, all right? So Molecule 01, Eccentric Molecules. I really, really, really want to try other fragrances from this brand like Molecule 02. I hear it's an Ambroxan scent, so I'm really excited to try that one once I get my hands on it. The next fragrance is Elysium. But this is my favorite by far from Parfums that I have tried till this day. I've tried maybe 10 or more of their fragrances, and none of them come close to the smell of this to me, all right? Elysium just has that mass appeal. And what I've noticed with a lot of Raja fragrances is that they definitely have a certain niche type of group that enjoy to wear them. Like a lot of people like to collect them, a lot of niche heads just respect the craftsmanship of these scents. But for me, and Elysium gets a lot of shit because, one, some people think it doesn't last that long. And, if that's your skin chemistry, then that's fine. A lot of people don't get the performance they want with this scent. And two, it's not as challenging as their other fragrances, so it kind of bores some people, right? But I will tell you right now, I love wearing this fragrance. I have been stopped multiple times wearing this scent and another fragrance that I'm going to show you in my collection, where people, like strangers that I've never met before, would stop me in grocery stores and be like, you smell so good. Can you tell me the name of your fragrances or your fragrance? And then I give them like the name of two because I was layering this one time. And they just get so confused. They're like, Elysium. Is that? It's Sephora? You know, so they're not aware of niche fragrances. So as much as the internet and the fragrance community wants to deem this as a basic scent that everybody is wearing, I promise you, people out there do not know Raja Parfums, and they'll be scratching their heads when you tell them what fragrance you're wearing. Because one, they don't know what it is. Two, they don't know where to get it. Three, they see the price tag and they're like, holy shit. And four, they don't know discount sites, so they can't take full advantage of like getting these for not retail price, because these things can get a bit pricey, right? But this smells very fruity and fresh. Now on my skin, people have told me I smelled very fresh pineapple-y, but it's not the Creed Aventus pineapple. I think that's another thing that drives people interested in this fragrance away, because you'll have people online, specifically like I've seen like more guys that are like, oh, that's just like a copy of Aventus and it puts other people off from wanting to try it, but it's not. But yeah, like that's just my opinion on it. If you don't want to try it, that's better for the ones of us that do enjoy wearing this fragrance, but honestly, give it a shot. All right, now there isn't pineapple in this scent. I believe it's juniper berry, and is it grapefruit? But it doesn't smell like that on me. So I just find it to be a really just bright, refreshing sort of fragrance that I know when I wear it out, I just can't stop smelling myself. And whenever I go hang out with other people, they just love this scent. So this is like an ultimate nose to the neck, like life of the party type of fragrance. And I love it so, so much. All right. The next scent is one I wore a lot in the beginning of October, and it's super addicting. It's called Cedrat by Mancera, and this thing is a powerhouse. This thing lasts over 24 hours, and before you're typing on your computer saying, no, that performance is shit, like, you know, like, did I say shift or shit? Shit, I meant shit, but this is the screw cap of the fragrance, all right? I think the newer ones are a magnetic cap, and I've heard so many of my subscribers tell me that the performance sucks, and then I've also had other like subscribers tell me that the performance is actually good. So I don't know, I guess it depends on the batch that you get it. But I bought this in 2020 for 60 bucks. For 60 bucks. I think now I've seen it for like what, over $200. It's crazy. It's crazy. But yeah, I think the link that I have is like, maybe it's like 180, but this thing just absolutely skyrocketed. And I heard that they reformulated this because Mancera wanted to come out with Cedrat Intense or Extrait, I can't remember. Like there's another flanker that's supposed to be a more strong, a more intense version of this fragrance. So they watered down the OG Cedrat, but I'm really glad I got this when I did. Now, this one smells very fruity in the opening, kind of like walking into Jamba Juice, in my opinion. And then it has a woody dry down. Now, this is a very interesting fragrance because every single woman, including myself, when they've smelled it on me, loved it. They're like, oh, that's so sexy. And even though this is marketed as unisex, it definitely goes more in the masculine direction. But they just cannot get enough of this scent. Whereas the guys that have smelled this are like, oh, that smells like shaving cream. You know, they're like, oh, that smells like blah, 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 blah. And they like it, but they're not as into it. So this is something that's sexy to the feminine nose. So if you want more reviews of this scent, I'm sure that there's a lot of women that have also talked about this fragrance as well. But if you're interested in women, then get it from their perspective, because I have not met a woman that I've worn this around that was not head over heels with this fragrance. This shit just goes crazy. And like I said, over 24 hours of performance with this, you really can't go wrong. There's not many fresh fragrances that perform that way. Not even a lot of sweet scents, you know, have that sort of massive longevity, but this one goes hard. All right, so Cedrat Mancera. Next fragrance is Salt and Pepper by Precious Liquid. And this is the one that I've layered nonstop with Elysium before, and I was receiving a lot of compliments on that. But even this by itself is a gorgeous fragrance. Now, yes, it kind of smells a little bit salty, but the pepper is what dominates in this fragrance. And then it also has ambroxan in the base to kind of, you know, push the scent off a little bit. But this isn't a beast mode type of scent. This isn't like a room filler, but it is a noticeable fragrance, at least from like an arm's length away. Because this scent, at least when I've worn it on clothes and on skin, I constantly smell it throughout the day, at least like 7 hours later. Like it's just going in and out, and it smells so good. This is a very like, it's one of those mass appealing niche fragrances, but you could tell it's high quality. You know, this is one of those things that people could say, oh, it gives me designer vibes because it has, you know, the mass appeal and the simplistic factor to it. But when you're smelling the fragrance, you're like, oh, this is of niche quality. You know what I mean? So this is a nice sweet spot scent. And similar to Cedrat, this is something super intoxicating to the feminine nose. All right, this fragrance right here, the only complaints I have heard from this scent are just from dudes on the internet that have DM'd me that weren't as into it. But from every single woman that has smelled this that I know in real life on me, and strangers, and also women that DM'd me after they smelled this on themselves or on their partner, head over heels. They cannot get enough of this scent. So again, it depends on, you know, like I guess who you're attracted to. If you enjoy it, of course, that's number one, you enjoying the fragrance, right? But if you want to get a scent that is literally just, it makes women weak in the knees, then salt and pepper is just such an easy one to go for, really. It is just, it does the trick for both people that, like for women that aren't even into fragrances and for the ones that like fragrances. Just easy, you know, easy scent. Next is my signature scent. I love this. It's Afternoon Swim by Louis Vuitton. And it's so funny because whenever I do my, not signature scent videos, my scent of the day videos, I wanted to kind of be consistent with it and do it every single day. But people were getting irritated. They were like, you keep using the same scent. And it's like, because I like it, you know what I mean? But hey, if it was annoying people, then I stopped the streak. I was like, all right, I won't do it every single day because no lie, you will see me nearly every day either using this or Salt and Pepper or Elysium. I was going to say Afternoon Swim, but it's already in my hand. But yeah, those three are constantly on repeat. So yeah, I know people get tired of repetition, but I mean it when I say that these fragrances are my favorite and I use them all the time. So if you hear me talking about it, it literally just means that to me, these are absolutely worth it. These are fragrances that I'm going to keep having in my collection for the rest of my life. They are not going anywhere. 90% or 90, I'm going to say 98% of these fragrances, I probably don't mind not using again, to be totally honest with you. But these are like to my core. And I will say, even though it's October, it was like 90 degrees yesterday. So wearing these fresh fragrances, I thought I could switch more into the sweeter scents, but that hasn't happened yet. I assume that's going to happen maybe in December or January for where I live. But damn, yeah, I haven't even had the chance to wear my sweet scents yet. But anyways, Afternoon Swim is this gorgeous orange fragrance. Very simplistic. And if you've kind of noticed a pattern with the fragrances I enjoy, they're simple, they're mass appealing, but they're of high quality. You know, I want to wear things that make me want to smell myself nonstop throughout the day. All these scents that I wear, I don't wear them for other people. I wear them because I enjoy them. And the big plus, the big bonus is that everybody around me cannot get enough of these scents. And they're just so drawn to them. They want to buy these bottles for themselves. So I know that these are addictive when it comes to the public opinion, at least here in the area that I live in, Southern California. But yeah, Afternoon Swim, oh gosh, this one gets a lot of feral reactions. Like this one is just a super, super sexy fragrance. I've said it time and time again, sex in a bottle. Now in terms of performance, this one and Elysium get a lot of shit. You know, some people don't smell it after a couple hours. That's totally cool. For me, my go-to when I'm wearing Afternoon Swim is with Molecule 01. These two together, just, it smells so good and it lasts all day. Literally all day. I remember one time I wore these two in the morning and then I like showered sometime that afternoon and I didn't wear like a fragrance. And then the next morning, like my girlfriend still smelled like a remnants of this on me. So it was crazy how like this was still there even after I was, you know, like scrubbing myself, soaping, you know what I mean? You know what you do in the shower, right? But it lasted and I love it. So these two, literally one of my favorite combos, Afternoon Swim and Salt and Pepper, one of my favorites. but I also enjoy wearing all 4 of those fragrances by themselves. All right, now maybe I'll do I'm gonna make another video like this in the cooler weather, because yes, there are some sweet fragrances that I love, but I am not using them right now. So I just don't want to give like a false, I don't want to say, oh yeah, I'm using this one a lot, but I haven't even touched it in a couple months. One being Carlisle, because I love that shit, and I'm really sad I haven't been able to use it yet. But again, the discount link for all these fragrances with global shipping is in the description below. Go get yourself a sample or a bottle if you want to try them, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye.